Hi everyone, welcome back to Aidans Railways. It's part 2 today of Build the Mallard. Well, I'm going to rename that Build the A4, I think. But last time the video was uploaded, it was just basically piecing the cab together, the outer shell itself, and there's a few pictures there you can see from the last episode. However, in this episode, it started to move on to the bodywork, the actual outer shell of the locomotive. And you can see there with the nose cone, there was quite a bit of white metal parts to take off the spline. I had to cut them off, and I had to start filing down any sort of excess from the mouldings themselves, which was quite time consuming, because obviously I had to file them down, making sure I didn't take too much off, and then obviously getting them ready to be glued. There was quite a bit of drilling that was required to be done as well into the actual nose cone itself, and it's an incredibly thick nose cone, so trying to use micro drills by hand with a pin vise, it was very time consuming. You can see just how much I sped up this entire video. But then it moved on to the actual main body itself. Now that became very complicated. You can just see there's a picture there of the lamp irons being fitted. So the video doesn't quite show me actually fitting the body on this handrail. Fitting the body itself was just few screws, but quite a lot of adhesive, a lot of super glue, and the handrails took an incredible amount of time to drill through by hand, and then fit each one of the handrail hangers themselves, glue them into place, putting all the wire through, making sure they were perfectly right for the angles, and then having to cut them and file them down at the ends. But then sort of moved back onto the cab again. This time it was fitting the actual window frames for the cab for the driver and the fireman. Now the actual opening window does open, and it's 5 pieces of separate brass that has to be bonded together for each one. Making sure you get the right ones to bond together to ensure that it fits properly and the actual window functions itself. Obviously you can see that I use clamps there. I'm just using a piece of wire to bond them together with the glue itself. On top of that, I had to fit handrails to both the cab sides as well, in a similar way to what I did with the actual locomotive body. But luckily this time it was just 2 little pieces that had to be glued on, as opposed to a full length of curved locomotive, which really was a bit trying. I also had to fit the soot deflectors as well to the edges of the cab windows. There is actually some plastic film or to replicate the glass, but that isn't to be fitted at the moment, which is probably just as well, because there's an awful lot of work to be done yet in relation to the cab and the loco body itself. But the actual cab was now about to be fixed to the loco body itself, and that required drilling 3 holes into the body in precise locations. Now I've got to add to this all of the drilling that takes place. The drills have to be correct to within 1/10 of a millimetre when you're actually doing this, or things just won't fit. But you can see here, this is the progress so far over the last week, with the body shell, with the valances fitted as well, lamp irons, handrails. The cab body itself's now been fitted to the actual main body shell. And, well, I'll leave you with these pictures. You can see the progress so far. It's getting there. It's definitely going to be a bit of a time-consuming project, but I think it'll definitely be worth it in the end. It takes a long time, because not only have you got to fit the parts but glue them, you have to wait for those parts to bond as well. So hope you enjoyed the video. Just a little bit of an update as to the Build the Mallard project, the O-Gauge project. So I'll see you again soon. Don't forget, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them in the comments bar. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you again soon. Bye now.